Hello, and thank you for joining me. I'm Lenny McGill. Today, we're going to discuss the installation of a mounting system for both optical sights as well as electronic sights. And we've got two different types we're going to deal with. One was made for Glocks prior to the 3-pin Glocks, the first generation Glocks. So that's what this one is right here, and you can see it's got a different configuration versus the newer version, which is made for the newer Glocks, the 3-pin Glocks. Now, when we talk about the pins, let's take a look here at the Glock itself. This is a newer Gen 3 Glock. You can see there are 1, 2, and 3 pins. All right, so we have basically the trigger pin, the locking block pin, and the trigger housing pin in the back. That's a 3-pin gun. The earlier guns of the first generation Glocks only had the trigger pin, did not have a locking block pin. So really it was really a 1, 2-pin Glock. And that's what this mount is designed for. It is designed to slip onto the gun, basically just like this. And I'll just show you how this thing would work. It'd slip in onto the Glock like so. You would remove the pin from the trigger housing area in the grip there and replace it with a pin, and then you would remove the trigger pin and replace it right there, and this is how this mount would work. It would sit there on the Glock like so. And it's not bad. It does interfere with the grip somewhat, so if you have an older first generation Glock, this is your option to be able to mount this or install this mount that will accept your optic sights as well as your traditional scopes. But today we're going to go ahead and show you how to install the Gen 3 version, because this is that kind of gun, and it's actually a little better system, I think, because it doesn't interfere with your grip whatsoever. First and foremost, whenever we're dealing with a gun of any sort, we're going to go ahead and make sure the gun is in fact unloaded. We've already dropped the magazine. I'm going to look inside the chamber by pulling the slide back, keeping my finger off the trigger and out of the trigger guard area, release the slide, and then pull the trigger in a safe direction. And now we know we have an unloaded gun. In fact, there is no ammunition in this room. This is for demonstration purposes, for cleaning and maintenance. You never really want to have ammunition on your workbench. That being said, I'm going to go ahead through a real quick disassembly procedure so that we can get to the guts of this gun and install this mount. Okay, so we removed the trigger pin, which is the large pin, and we're going to put it off the side. And now let me go and take the frame and put this off the edge here, and we're going to go ahead and install the mount itself. Now, the mount comes with basically 4 pieces. This is the front brace, which I'll show you how that works. 2 replacement pins, or pins that will be used to secure this into the frame itself, and then of course the mount itself. And the mount is aluminum. So it's a pretty tough part, and it's going to last for a long time. Once the trigger pin is gone, you can see the hole right there. Just want to make sure everything's kind of lined up right. I'm going to go ahead and place the mount right over top of this guy. And this is very critical that you get these holes lined up just perfectly, which I will do. And the pin, as you'll see, has a threaded edge. One side of the mount itself is actually, one hole is larger because that's where the pin starts, but then it goes and it intersects with the smaller hole on the, well, I guess my left side of the frame, and it actually screws in to that hole itself. So we'll get the pin started. There we go. I've got it started now, and I'll use this Allen wrench, which is supplied in the package, to get this to bite into the frame itself. And it doesn't appear I've got a connection yet, so I've got to jostle this just a little bit. And let's see if this works better. All right, here we go. So I've got it basically, I've caught the hole on the other side, but I'm not going to cinch it down all the way until I get myself lined up with this other unit here. And now, they supply a front bracket or mounting device that actually slides onto the rail system of the new gun. You can see it's got the notches. And those notches will correspond to the rail on the frame here. Also, on the bottom of the frame, you'll see a notch a channel, and this corresponds to the channel inside of this little mounting device. So I'm going to slide this right onto the frame. I want to make sure I line those channels up with the hole, because this secondary pin will go through this hole in the mount itself, through the mounting device, all the way over, and again lock into the other side of the mount. Now what I'm going to do to help seat this front part, I'm going to put the slide back on top. And you notice that, of course, the slide is supposed to work independently of this mount, which is a good thing. And this will help me get a little bit more leverage on getting this piece in place where it's supposed to go. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a small screwdriver and gently get in here between the frame and actually just pry this frame out, this thing out a little bit. And that'll help me get this thing over top of the slide there. Hopefully you saw that. So basically the objective is to get this device to, this mount to line up. Okay, and I'll just drop a pin down there. Looks like it's going to work. So that's my objective, is to now use this screw pin that they have provided. Again, it's got a threaded tip. One side is wider, or the hole is larger in diameter than the other. Yep, it's coming. There we go. Okay. Looks like it's good. Got it in there. Now I just got to tighten it down with the screwdriver, the Allen wrench, and attach it to the other side. Once the gun is configured like such, you'll see it's a kind of a neat little package. Then you can install a Picatinny rail mount, which is what this is, and a optic sight, if you so desire. Let's see if I can get these lined up here real quick for us. So we have the rail mount would go onto the gun itself. So let me go ahead and do that first. I'll install this guy first. Put the rail mount there. I'm just going to do this temporarily, not going to tighten it down too hard, but get that kind of positioned and lined up. And I'll take my red dot sight and pop it right on top there, like so. And now, just taking an Allen wrench, tighten down some of my two screws that would attach this to the mount itself. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is that it's totally adjustable. You can also just take this sight right off. That's what's really neat about this type of system. Okay, and there's a package for you. Check that out. So you have now kind of the best of both worlds. You've got your Glock with your standard sights, with the aluminum mount, and now also with the red dot Seymour, the STS, the small tactical sight mounted to it. And that's a neat little package, as you can see. And it gives you the ability to use that red sight if you need to. You can also use your iron sights. The installation is not difficult, a little time consuming, just lining everything up. But once you see the process and you understand what's going on, is we're basically replacing one pin, adding a second pin, locking the mount onto the frame as such, and then from there, anything goes. You can really do just about anything on top there. It could be an optical sight, could be the red dot sight, could be an iPod. Thanks for watching. I'm Lenny McGill. We'll see you next time.